Hey everyone, I just want to say this real quick. Thanks to everyone who took the time to watch my videos, who commented, who liked, who subscribed, who continued to encourage me throughout the entire process. I thank all of you guys, and it's because of you guys that I'm here. So with that said, let's go ahead and move on. I know what you guys came here to see. Let's carry on. It feels good to be back. Sorry it took me a little time, but there's a few things I had to deal with. But here I am. I'm back and we are back at it. And not only I am back, but this is going to be our first viewers request video. A hotel that one of my viewers requested me to do. Sevilla, a city with rich history that's known for its celebration and festivities. But for us here living in Orlando, it might have a much different meaning. Back in 2013, an episode of Hotel Impossible took place in a small-scale motel located in Kissimmee, Florida called the Sevilla Inn. Although it shares the same name, it possesses none of the same qualities as the city in Spain. At the time of recording of the episode, the only residents were sloppy extended stay residents, bed bugs for nightly massages, and roaches for housekeeping. So join me as we boldly step across the threshold of the Sevilla Inn. Will it be a triumphant tale of transformation, or will I be documenting my escape plan in the dead of night? There's only one way to find out. Let's go see if this infamous hotel is now a hidden gem, or if it's still hiding something else entirely. Wish me luck. Seriously, I might need it. Let's go ahead and find out. Enjoy. Alright, we are back at it again. Today I find myself at the Sevilla Inn, and we are heading into room 122. Let's go ahead and check it out, carry on, and check out how these rooms look. So I got myself inside the room and I'm going to do my usual. I'm going to do a walk around. We're going to check everything out and see how everything looks. But first off, I want to give a shout out to my new member. His name is Jim. Thank you, Jim. I really appreciate it. I have great things coming for you. And also, this is a request from Jim. He requested for me to check out the Sevilla Inn, and here I am. I am very excited to do this hotel for one main reason. This hotel is featured in a series called Hotel Impossible. It is what it sounds like. It's the hotel version of Restaurant Impossible, except the host is Anthony instead of Gordon Ramsay, and he comes here to these hotels that are in dire situations, usually in financial debt and needing some help. Really some guidance to correct what was going wrong in the place. And in this particular hotel, I believe it was in season 2, early on in this whole series. The name of the series is called Don't Bug Me, and there's a really good reason why. There was a lot of bugs in the hotel. He found bed bugs throughout the mattresses. When the exterminators came, there was this one particular room that was flooded with thousands and thousands of bed bugs and cockroaches. And also they had issues with being able to maintenance a place because they were trying to do it themselves instead of hiring professionals when it comes to exterminating the bugs, when it comes to keeping the pool clean, and it just wasn't working. The father was getting overworked, which I believe he was the owner, and the sons and the daughter really wanted to step in and help out. Long story short, they needed a lot of help, and that's where we are now. I don't know, I do remember I wasn't really able to capture a lot of footage or any footage or pictures of the episode itself because it's heavily copyrighted. So I actually watched it several times. I have the episode ingrained in my mind. I know what a lot of these rooms looked like afterwards, before and after. So I'm gonna know if things stayed the way they are, if they actually made improvements beyond that episode. And another thing I do want to point out is the hotel was sold off, so I believe it is different owners now than it was back in 2013 when the episode aired. We'll see what these new owners were they able to maintain it? Have they made improvements since, or is this another hotel that just needs to be passed by? So let's go ahead, let's do our room tour, let's find out if I see any weird quirks and features, and let's just have fun. Enjoy. Grab your popcorn and let's carry on. And here is a full view of the room 122 in the Sevilla Inn. Looks very bright and crisp, but at the same time I feel like it really does lack a lot of character. There's not much color going on here. From the floor all the way to the ceiling, it's just white. Most walls are just white, except you got this kind of accent wall here. It's like a mute blue with this kind of unnoticeable picture hanging on the wall. It's an abstract, but barely you can make out what it is at all. So that's kind of my initial impressions. I do wish it had a little bit more pop of color in here, something just to kind of give it a little more character to it. But this is what we have. I do want to point out that it does smell pretty clean in here. I don't smell any remnants of cigarette smoke. It does smell a little bit of bleachy, kind of like cleaner. It's not to the point where it really burns your eyes though. It's pretty subtle, so at least this room has that going on for it. Another noticeable thing is the tile flooring that you see here. In the 2013 episode that was featured in Hotel Impossible, these tile floors were still here, and I looked very hard at it. I paused it, I replayed it several times just to make sure the same tile floors. These are the same tile floors, especially if you see the scene where they actually had exterminators in that one room, and you had Anthony walking in with the owner and the owner's daughter, and you see thousands and thousands of bed bugs and cockroaches. Look very close at the floors. These are the exact same floors that they had then. It's great that they actually do keep it kind of clean here. It does not look like it's seriously damaged, although I do see some chips wear throughout the years. It doesn't look horrible. The grout maybe could be cleaned a little bit. Other than that, it just feels a little dated though. This is kind of the style that my grandmother had on my Spanish side. They used to really love the tile flooring. It's pretty easy to clean, and as long as you maintain it really well, you can have it looking pretty good for a long time. And we do have a standing lamp here, and we also do have another lamp on the nightstand in the middle of the beds. So let's go ahead and turn this on and check out the lighting in the room. And here is the lighting in the room. It's not bad. Another thing I do see is you can actually add a little bit more lighting over in the bathroom area, but I'm not going to focus on that right now. Let's go ahead and just focus on the two lamps. They light the room decent. It does not feel like it's dim in here. I could see pretty well. Maybe in that corner could probably use a little bit more lighting, but that's nothing to complain about. And here is our nightstand. It's very, very here's your Bible. It looks woohoo. Oh man. Okay, there's a little bit too much debris in here. I feel like this Bible deserves a lot better. And is it me? Or does this nightstand look awfully familiar? If memory serves me right, is this a Garnet Inn? Yes, in fact, this shares the same furniture as the Garnet Inn, including the headboards for these two beds and also this desk. And this chair. This is all Garnet Inn. This is basically a Garnet Inn. Well, minus the bugs, so far. I've only been in this room for about 15 minutes, so who knows what I will find. Hopefully no big surprises like the Garnet Inn really did to me, but we'll see. I'm going to continue the search and see if we do find any type of weird quirks and features and maybe some creepy crawlies. I really love this lamp's wood design. It just looks very unique, and I think it fits in well with the rest of the furniture. I do want to point out you do got a couple of outlets here connected to the bottom, the base of the lamp, and you turn it on and off from this switch here. Before we make our way to the bathroom portion of the room, let's go ahead and check out the AC unit. Runs very, very cold air, and I'm going to pull out some of these. Could be cleaned a little bit better, but they're not too bad. The AC unit itself is actually in pretty decent condition compared to some of the other hotels I've checked out, so I will give them that. Kudos to them. Pretty clean. I do want to see if you guys see what I see and if you notice the flaw about this room. There is very limited counter space. I noticed that you have the table here. You do have your nightstand here. Other than that, you do have some shelving on the far side of the room next to the sink and also a closet space. There's really nowhere else in this room where you can actually store stuff on top of a counter or a table. That's why over here you see you have three appliances practically stacked on top of each other. You have your mini fridge, you do have a small microwave on top of your fridge, and then you have your coffee machine, your coffee maker with all its cups. You have your your coffee, your cups, your bottles of water just placed right on top of your microwave. So if there's anything that is majorly flawed in this room, it's the fact that you have lack of counter space and some cabinetry or anything like that. You just kind of have to go here and use this as storage, and you got a pretty, I wouldn't say a big size closet space, but it's not small either. But if this is something that you can get by, then that'll be fine. Let's check our refrigerator. Looks extremely clean. And our microwave. Very nice. I like it. I think these outlets up here were actually made for maybe if you had your TV connected. I'm not sure why they have them so high, but that's my guess. Who knows? And let's go check out the TV because I don't like this either. This is another flaw. Looks very big from here, but as I stand back, and this is where you're going to be laying your head when you're watching the TV. Let me go ahead and just tilt up, and that is your view. Very, very tiny size. Small size TV for a room this big. I think that's another upgrade that needs to be done. In fact, this is actually not the same TV they installed during the episode of 2023's Hotel Impossible. I think they were own Philips brand TVs. These are on ONN. Really got to enjoy their subtle attempt at trying to add a pop of color with this mute blue. I mean, it really, you might as well just paint the entire room white at this point. And here is your picture. It's cool. I mean, I do like the little designs here. It's very different, but I think this could have been another opportunity to add some color to it. Very abstract. Doesn't really add anything to the room, but I think it's okay. All right, sink time, sinking countertop. This is, I guess, what they use. This little divider to separate your bathroom area to the rest of your room. Just so you know you're standing in the bathroom and you can tell people to give you privacy. Do not go past this wall. I don't know, I'm just kidding. Anyways, here's our mirror. I love this design. It's actually really cool. It's like this, I think they painted over it. It looks like they painted over it and gave it like a really sparkly silver look to it. The mirror is actually pretty nice size for the size of the bathroom. You have this Eco Botanics soap, chamomile honey. A couple of cups. You got one, yeah, you got two of them here. I love this. Very talented. Very talented. I'm not going to mess with that. I'll leave that there. I know it took them a lot of work to get this look for this towel. And you do have a hair dryer over here that is unplugged. I'm going to keep it that way. And also you do have some space with an outlet in the back. So I guess if you need to use anything, you're storing anything, you need to charge it, you can go ahead and charge it there while it's being stored. And this countertop looks pretty dated. You do see some wear over here at the bottom of the sink. Let's go ahead and turn it on and see. Goes straight into the hole. It has good aiming. Look at that. Barely causing a mess. I'm having way too much fun with this. Okay. Where's our coat hangers? We don't have any coat hangers? Really? I mean, the cheapest hotels give us coat hangers, at least one rusty one, maybe one non-functional one, but this one doesn't even attempt to give you one. But you do have a rod, and you do have additional space up top, and you have a pretty nice space to at least store some pretty decent, maybe full-size luggage at the bottom here. Let me go ahead and just tilt down, and you can see it. I don't like the white because it does leave some of the walls being visibly marked over time, so you know that's another downfall. Really, this whole hotel just needs to have some color to it. It just really feels just, I don't know, it just has no life to it. For a hotel that was actually rated less than 4, I really tend to find a decent amount of problems with it. This particular room is actually in pretty decent shape. I haven't found anything too alarming. I'm actually okay. It really is not bad. This particular room seems well maintained. So I have one last thing to look at. We're going to go ahead and look at the mattresses. Really, that could be a determining factor or a deal breaker whether anybody wants to stay in these rooms or not. So let's go ahead and see what we find, if there's anything that could make me change my mind about this hotel so far. Garnet Inn imposter, how dare you? What really bothers me, and it's probably because I'm being nitpicky at this point, and I do really want to find something wrong with this room, is the fact that this guy is not standing up straight. You have bad posture. Let's go ahead and fix it. You know what? Because you're doing this to yourself, sir. You have done this to yourself. sabotaging. Let's go ahead and take that wire from underneath of you. And you simply just don't want to stand up straight. Now he's leaning against the wall. I guess that's actually a better direction, but you know, that kind of bothered me. Maybe we can tighten it a little bit. Much better. Ooh, I found a roach. It's just a chipped tile flooring. Upon further evaluation, there is something in this sink around this area I particularly do not like. Let me go ahead and just bring you down and we'll show you this. What is this? All right, we're gonna get through these beds, but I just noticed one subtle difference between bed A and bed B. Height. Let me go ahead and just bring you down and we can actually see there's probably maybe a ½ inch difference in height. Nothing major. Nothing that will actually be a deal breaker. Probably couldn't even tell unless you're some type of creep like me that focuses on many small things in these hotels. But I see it. And here we are. Each bed has 2 pillows on it. Fairly small pillows. Pretty fluffy. Wow. Look at that. Look at this fluff. It pops right back up. It's almost springy. This is a nice pillow. And let's go ahead and check this one out. It doesn't have quite the same effect as the first one, but it's still not bad. I think both of these will actually give you really good head support and feel comfortable throughout the night. So good job. The pillow size could be a little bit bigger, but I think that's just a minor flaw. Nothing too big. Literally nothing too big, right? And just to continue with the theme of the rest of the room, they decided just to go with plain white everything. Let's go ahead and pull this back. At least that helps you see everything. You know, it really exposes any flaws or any stains that could be on these sheets. Sheets are pretty wrinkled, but the most important thing, they're very clean. We're gonna go ahead and pull this back now. All right, they use an encasement here, which is actually a good thing considering the fact that this hotel was criticized on national television for having bed bugs. So I would say this is probably the right move to make. Literally, the biggest pop of color in this room is going to be this big banana mattress they have here that's completely covered up unless you do what I do and take everything off. Come on. It's not dirty. I looked underneath the encasement and I didn't take it off because you got to take it off from the side. It actually is in pretty good condition. The firmness of it is, it's one of those like springy mattresses. It feels kind of old because it does sink in, but then it sinks into a point where you can feel the springs. So not the best feeling mattress, not the worst either. The most important thing about is actually pretty clean. So I would give this a passing grade. I'm gonna give it like maybe a B-. All right, on to bed B. So we're gonna go ahead and check out the pillows first. It's pretty firm, it's still pretty fluffy. It doesn't spring up as much as the other pillow, but I think it does give you good head support. And also, this one sinks in a little bit more than the other 3, but still, none of these pillows are actually really that bad. I would actually gladly sleep on all 4 of these pillows, to be honest with you, except for the fact that I wish they were a little bit larger and they gave you another set of pillows on each bed. Other than that, I think it's pretty decent. We are going to pull back, see if we do find anything here. So far, looks pretty good. Except for the sheets just feel pretty old. They look old. You can see some of the wrinkles. Mayday, mayday. We have a problem. I do see some. Looks like some blood stains. Old blood stains. Kind of throughout this. I don't know what that is, but over here, I don't like the look of that. Well, it looks like it didn't make it through because on the underside of these encasement, it looks like there's a thick material that blocks any liquid from seeping all the way through. So that's actually a good sign. This mattress here is actually a different color. It's not like the banana, but looking through camera, it looks like there might be some discoloration. In person, I can't tell. I don't know if that's maybe a shadowy thing that's going on through the camera, but with my naked eyes, I can barely see. I do see a little bit, but it's not that noticeable. Through the camera, it looks horrible, so I don't know what's going on here. Yeah, I don't love this bed as much in particular because of the couple of things I did find. The mattress, the way it feels, it's not springy. It's a little bit more firm. I do like the feeling of this mattress better, but I'm going to give it a lower grade simply for the fact that I did see those stains on the encasement, and it does not look like this is in the best shape, but I'm still going to give it maybe a C minus, high D, maybe a D plus. So my bad, I kind of did this out of order. I did the entire room with the mattress first, and I usually cover the bathroom before that, but I'm going to go ahead and just keep everything where it's at, and we're going to do the bathroom last. And after that, we're going to call it a day as far as this room tour. But let's go ahead and check this out. This is actually a first glance of what it really looks like. Let's see. And here we are walking into the bathroom. Very, very lovely work here, work of art. At least they give you towels. That's a plus. I feel like that's already puts it ahead of 50% of hotels I've actually toured. And you do have also a fan, an exhaust fan that takes any of your bad smelling odor out of the bathroom. Let's turn that off so you guys can actually hear me. Here is this nice cream colored shower that you have going on here, tub. Not a fan of the color. I don't really like the cream stuff, but hey, this is what we have. And the most important thing, and I love the fact that it actually looks pretty clean. The shower head looks clean. Very, very minimal hard water stains on it. It moves a little bit, but whatever. Who's gonna do that? And here is our pole. Curtain pole. Very nice. And look at what they give you. They got shampoo and conditioner all in one. Oh, this is truly a luxury experience. Go ahead and tuck these back in for the night. I'm not going to be using them. Just happy to see that this is actually a breath of fresh air, that some of these hotels are just not complete junk. Now, I do want to point out it's not perfect because I am looking at something right here. If I zoom in, you can see some delicious chocolate seeping out of this little handle. Over here, you can see a couple of small things just right underneath the faucet. So, like I said, it's not perfect, but compared to what I've been seeing before, this is a huge, huge upgrade. It is pretty cool that they do give you 2 extra toilet paper rolls, but I'm not a huge fan of having something that's already half used in the toilet paper holder because, you know, other people have been using it. They have their hands all over it. I would rather just have a fresh start with a new one. So I don't know if that bothers you guys, but to me, that's just me. That's just my personal feelings towards it. You know what I really noticed, and this is, to me, I don't know why they did this. I feel like it's kind of dumb, is they wanted to create some continuity with the color throughout the rooms, but they decided to match this wall color with the bathroom tiling right here. You see how this is kind of this mute blue color? It's practically almost identical to the color of the wall here, which is strange. It's very strange that they chose to match the color to these little dated tile floorings that they have here, these little squares. I just feel like maybe they could improve upon that. And just in case you don't know where the light source is coming from, they do give you this arrow to really tell you it's coming from here. Now I'm just being nitpicky at this point, but I don't know, guys. Do you see what I'm seeing? If you can't see it through the camera, let me go ahead and just kind of focus on this light bulb. Focus on this one. So you got these like white stars, and then you have like the sun, the yellow in the middle. That is kind of weird. I mean, if you're gonna change the light bulbs, why don't you just change all 3 of them? I think this hotel room compared to some of the ones nearby, similar price, similar area, completely different experience. This is what I'm telling you. Just because pricing is at a certain point doesn't mean and this is exactly what I hear a lot of commenters say, you get what you pay for. Not necessarily. There are other hotels that are similar cost as some of the worst ones, maybe even cheaper than some of these horrible ones that I've toured, and they are much better. So it's really important to really look at the hotels, look at the most recent reviews, because even though this has a 3.8 rating review on Google, a lot of the recent ones are 5-star rating with a couple of low rated reviews sprinkled in between, but a lot of those have to do with more of service, not the cleanliness and You know, there was one that was actually said, I seen a cockroach in the room, but I didn't find too many of those. Really, the bad reviews are more in the older reviews. And watching videos like this, where actually somebody gives you a full, honest kind of viewpoint of the hotel itself, which I am going to do of the exterior tomorrow morning, it's very important because you might be pleasantly surprised like I am now today with this. Sevilla, I honestly, for a cheaper cost in this area, I would prefer this hotel over a lot of these other hotels nearby. So there's that. Now, the only drawback to these cheaper hotels is the fact that they do share similar furniture to each other. So if you do have PTSD and you had a really horrible experience with a hotel room that has similar furniture to the one that you may be checking in next to, it may be kind of a turnoff, which it actually turned me off. Not in this one in particular. Well, kind of, because the Garnet Inn had bug issues and this shares the same furniture as the Garnet Inn, but there is also other furniture that I've seen mixed in with other hotels. That will complete my interior room tour of this hotel. Just remember, this room's not going to be the same as the other room, so your experience might be completely different than mine. I just want you to, keep note of that. But with that said, no breakfast, which I kind of already knew. It wasn't mentioned at all that it was going to have any breakfast here, and I could tell by the size of the lobby, there wasn't going to be any breakfast. There's nowhere to put it, simply put. Unfortunately, you're going to have your own breakfast. You can bring in a granola bar, or you can chew on some wood or something. I don't know. But hey, that's not the biggest deal breaker. Let's go ahead. I'm going to go fast forward through the night, and we're going to magically appear, and it's going to be the next day. Don't you love this YouTube magic? Bye. Another thing I do want to point out is walking out here during nighttime can be a little daunting and frightening because it's a small hotel and you have a lot of sharp turns and corners that you have to walk around that you're blinded to, so you don't know if you're going to run into somebody on each of these corners, and there are a lot of sharp corners, and it just feels you can get caught off guard and somebody may just kind of just scare you around one of these corners, run these turns. So there's that. And here's our washer and dryer. We'll check it out in the morning. Good morning, guys. It's the next day here at the Sevilla Inn. I'm gonna do an exterior walk around of the grounds, show you the road, the location, and let you know my thoughts of the Sevilla Inn. Before we go, let's check out this TV. It is a Roku TV, so I'm going to assume that it's connected to the Wi-Fi here. All right, there we go. We are connected. Here is an exterior look at my room, 122. I have these buckets down here by the AC unit. I'm assuming maybe there's some leaking that's going on, as you can see. Kind of going across the walkway, spilling over to the side. And here is a good look at the pool area. Now, this was another big issue in Hotel Impossible, is they didn't have great maintenance in the pool and the water was really green. But from the looks of it, the water looks great. I can see it's well maintained. Now, the deck area probably can use a little work, and I see a lot of the tiling there is still there from the episode. They kept it, and some of these chairs is also they kept from this episode too. I think those could be changed out. They're starting to fade a little bit. You can see some stains that is happening. Here's a look at the laundry room, and these are the hours. Sunday and Mondays are open at 10 a.m. so you're gonna have to wait a little bit of time for that. Overall, from what I can see, it doesn't look really bad in there, but like I said, it's pretty dark and it's hard to get a good picture of it. Let me go ahead and just tilt down. And here's a good look at the property. It consists of two buildings that connect to each other, the front part being a 2-story building, and this portion, the secondary building, being 3 stories high. I want to point out something right here. This driveway that merges into one entrance is horrible. I was pulling out yesterday. While I was trying to get out, there are cars that are oncoming that are trying to come in at the same time. So they will cross you over, trying to get over there. And here's a good look at the Sevilla Inn. There's a sign. They got a new signage since then. I believe the sign was a little bit different during the airing of the episode in 2013. Although I believe they do need to get a new sign. That thing looks like it's been burned by fire. Well, this side actually looks completely different. Look at that. It is really not a big property. I think there's only like maybe 50 rooms in this hotel. I'm not sure. But overall, I think the grounds, it's an aged hotel. Obviously, I think it was an old hotel during the airing of the show in 2013. For what they did with it, it's really not a bad place. One of the other complaints I did read about this hotel is the fact that it was very loud. A lot of kids running around. It kind of had a party atmosphere. I didn't get that sense. It was probably one of the most quiet places I've stayed at, and it almost felt like I was the only one there. I think the Sevilla Inn has done quite a lot since the airing of that episode to improve itself. I know it's under different management, so maybe these management, they just know how to manage the hotel a lot better than what they were doing. The grounds could use a little bit of work, you know, just some touch-up work. There's some garbage laying all the way over there on the other side. If I zoom in, you can see it. So nothing drastic, but you know, just a couple things here and there that I think can really improve the quality of stay that you will have, your experience that you can't have at the Sevilla Inn. Let's check out how much I paid for this room. Looking at the price tag, I'm pretty sure it had a typo, but hey, I'm not complaining. This is officially my smartest financial decision of the week, and it's only Wednesday. So the subtotal came out to $67.50 with taxes and fees, adding up to a total charge of $76.61. Possibly one of my cheapest rooms I've paid for in a while. So that really does bring up the value in my mind. So I went ahead and went to the website, and I found this pretty hilarious. Apparently the photographer's artistic vision involves showcasing the parking lot. This photo is proof that even the most beautiful sunset can't save a shot taken directly towards the worst possible angle. And to check out some of the amenities, it's pretty basic. I mean, there's really not much there. It seems like this website hasn't been updated since 2013, as you can see on the bottom. So that will complete my tour and my review of this hotel. It is a smaller hotel. I think the main focal point really in the exterior to look at is the pool and the pool deck area. And I really wanted to see how it looked and how it compared to the 2013 episode of Hotel Impossible. A lot of it looks the same. I think the deck was painted a different color. The little tile work that was done on the back wall, that's still there, and some of the chairs that they brought in during the episode are still there, although I believe it's time for them to, you know, switch those out. Everything else, I think the exterior just looks dated. I think it just needs a little touch-up work, a little cleanup. There's a good reason why a lot of the reviews lately has been getting 5 stars, and I can see from this room in particular, they have been keeping the interior, the places that you stay at, the rooms that you stay in, well maintained. And although the location isn't ideal, it's close enough to where you're able to make a good 15, maybe even less, 13-minute drive to the Walt Disney World property on a light morning. Overall, it's not that far from the property. One thing I do question is if this property and the Garden Inn are under the same ownership, because they do have a lot of similar furniture. The furniture is almost identical. Of course, there will be other options for newer hotels that offer similar prices that I would put above this one, but this isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I'm pleasantly surprised. And with that said, on to the next one. My next video will be another viewer's request. It's at a hotel that's going to be further west from here on 192. I'm very excited about this hotel because it has gone under a remodel, and I think this could possibly be one of the best value out of all the hotels I've reviewed. So I'm very excited for that. If you like this type of content, please subscribe. You can hit the bell for any future videos that come up and hit the like button. Also, please feel free to comment down below if you had any experience at this hotel prior years or currently now. And also, if you have any suggestions on what I should do next, I would love to see that. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Have a great week. Bye.